In our previous video, we explored a variety of question types as we created a digital citizenship student survey as a new form. In this particular video, we are going to shift our focus to creating a new quiz as a summative assessment so that we can take a closer look at the grading features that are offered in Microsoft Forms. We will also explore some of the other question types as well as how we can add other content inside a Forms quiz. So let's get started by creating a new quiz. And again, we'll give our quiz a specific title. This is going to be our plant reproduction quiz. And again, we can enter a brief description below. Just like in our form, we will see the insert image icon to the right of the title. And when we click that, the image search panel will open up. We can go ahead and search for images in Bing. And again, the results will be tagged with Creative Commons license so that we know we are free to use the image in our quiz. Notice that we can also insert an image from our OneDrive or upload an image from our computer. So let's go ahead and grab an image and we'll click Add. Again, to add new questions, we simply click the Add New Question button. So let's go ahead and add some questions to this task. Our first type of question is going to, again, be a multiple choice question. So I'll click on Choice. And I'll go ahead and enter the content. So I've actually gone ahead and added 3 multiple choice questions to this new quiz. Let's start with question number 1. So the first thing I can do as part of the grading features is I can identify which option below the question is the correct answer. So I will simply hover over the correct answer. And notice these 3 little icons for delete, display a message, and a check mark for correct answer. I will simply click on the check mark for correct answer. Now, let's come back to this little text box. So notice that it appears when I hover over the other options as well. So this means that I can actually give feedback right within the question for my students who choose the incorrect option. So I could include a brief statement of feedback, as I was saying, for each incorrect option. Now, before we move on to question number 2, I also need to identify how many points this question is worth. So here where it says points, I'm simply going to hover over the box and we are going to say that this is worth 1 point. We'll make sure that the question is required. And I'm going to click on the 3 dots. I want to select Shuffle Options. That way, when my students are taking this test, the options will all be rearranged for each student. All right, let's go on to question number 2. So again, to identify the correct answer, I just simply hover over the option and click on the check mark. And then again, I can select that text box and enter in a message for students who choose each of the incorrect options. Now, let's take a look. Oh, let's not forget to put in our points. So again, that question is going to be out of 1 point and it's required. And again, we will shuffle options. All right, for number 3, before we go ahead and add points, we are actually going to add an image that the students will have to use in order to answer this question. So to add an image to this particular question in the test, we just simply select the question and then click on the Insert Media icon. In the Insert Media panel, you have the choice between image and video. I'm going to select image. And in this case, I'm not going to do an image search. I'm actually going to upload an image and I will select the image from my computer that I need to support this question. Now I can go ahead and identify the correct answer, and let's not forget to put in the point value. We'll also make sure that this question is required, and we'll click on the three dots to ensure that the options are shuffled. If I scroll up to the top, I can see that so far my plant reproduction quiz is out of 3 points. All of these multiple choice questions, because we were able to identify a correct answer for forms will auto-grade each question. So let's talk about some of the questions that we have to manually grade. So let's go ahead and click Add New. This time we will select a text-based question. And again, we can make this a long answer by toggling on the long answer switch, or we can leave it as a short answer. Let's go ahead and make it into a long answer. Now, for this question, I actually want the students to view a short video clip. I can do this in Forms by clicking on the Insert Media icon. This time, I will select Video, and I can paste the YouTube link here and select Add. The YouTube video will be added to my form, and I can go ahead and enter in my question. Now, I can go ahead and make this question worth a little bit more. We can say it's going to be worth 4 points, but because this is a long answer, it will have to be graded manually by the teacher. So again, let's just scroll up to recap. For questions that are going to be auto-graded, such as multiple choice questions, make sure you not only identify the correct answer, you can even go ahead and leave feedback for incorrect options. And don't forget to add a point value. You can also add in a point value for questions such as the one here at the bottom of our form. That will be a long answer that will be manually graded. And we can go ahead and click Preview to see what the students are going to see. Let's just scroll down. You can see how the image has been embedded on the form. And you can see how the video has been embedded on the form, and the students just need to hit the play button. In order to play that video. Let's go back. All right, to wrap up, let's take a look at some of the other question types that we have access to in a new form or a new quiz. So let's click Add New. We've already talked about multiple choice, drop down, text, and rating. Let's take a look at a date question. So if I go ahead and enter a date question, remember that the answer needs to be in the format of month, day, year. What's really handy if we go to preview is that if students aren't sure how to enter the date in month, day, year, they can always click on the date picker calendar icon, and a calendar drops down, and then they can go ahead and select the date, and it will be entered in the correct order. Let's go back. Another new question type, if we click on the 3 dots for more, is ranking. Ranking questions can be very handy if you are trying to have students identify order of events or arrange something from smallest to largest. Let me go ahead and enter a question to show you what I mean. One thing to make note of when you are using a ranking question is to make sure that you enter in the options in the correct order. So again, we can make this out of points. Let's go ahead and make this out of 1 point. And let's just preview this. So this is what it would look like on the test for our students. The students would notice that the options have all been organized in a random order, and it would be up to them to hover over an option and use the arrows to rearrange the options in the correct order. Let's go back and let's add one more new type of question. Click Add New, and we will take a look at a Likert question. Now, a Likert question may be more suitable for use in a new form where you're creating a student survey or maybe even a student self-assessment form, because here you could actually build in a rubric. So you can adjust the number of options you have going across the top by simply clicking the plus, or clicking on an option and deleting it. We can enter in statements and add more statements. And of course, we can adjust what these options are going across the top. Students will see this type of question as such on their test. So whether you are creating a new form or a new quiz, you have a wide variety of question options to use. Keep in mind that you can only use the grading features in a new quiz. So if you would like the assessment to be auto-graded or to allow for manual grading, you do need to create a new quiz.